Mark Lawrenson is an excellent summariser. He assesses the action with a smile and a clever quip. Summarisers at the World Cup have to be accurate, informative and prepared to offer an instant view of an incident. No time to ponder, assess or reassess. That is the advantage of the pundit on the sofa. Do not talk down to viewers but tell them something they may not know. Davies, a fine wordsmith, advised me to add the value of why and to predict a possible consequence as an aid to the pictures. With the World Cup on terrestrial TV, not every viewer is an avid football fan, so they must have guidance and not be overpowered by tactical nuances. It has been good to hear the bright Alim Coister united with ITV's John Champion, an excellent commentator who asks questions of his colleague, speaks when needed and has that magic pause. One can cope with Ali's dialect. More distracting are the views of fellow Scot Pat Nevin on radio, who always seems in a hurry. Glenn Hoddle, ITV's lead summariser, has bedded in well with the evergreen Clive Tildesley. Glenn was a world-class player who gently conveys his analysis, shrewdly reminding us of his tactical acumen while retaining a generous view and showing no bias. Not easy for an ex-England manager. One can also understand Phil Neville. Calm and considered, one can see why he has enjoyed success with England's women's team. He is a contrast to his brother Gary, who has more experience of the gantry and is more forceful with his views and never lost for a critical word. The BBC's lead assistants have been Martin Keown and Danny Murphy, both having their World Cup baptism. Keown, the ex-Arsenal stopper, sounds serious and sincere as though carrying the weight of expectation of the England team on his shoulders. But he does his research and this is key. Danny is a little one-paced. He tells you his view, but does not stretch to the highs and lows. BBC Radio 5 Live listeners will enjoy the regular ruffling of feathers by Chris Waddle. His enthusiasm shows through. He can be cutting and critical but also gives praise where it is due. And I love the way he misplaces his tenses as he wheels away with his Geordie accent. There is no substitute for experience and Liverpool legend Mark Lawrenson has that. With the informative clarity of Steve Bauer, he has scored heavily. He summarises with a smile and a clever quip. I have always enjoyed Mark's depth of understanding. After listening to Bauer extol the virtues of Belgium's brilliant Kevin De Bruyne, the player made an awful pass. A deadpan Lawrenson observed, "That's your man, isn't it?" Radio summarisers are often more illuminating because they have more opportunity to express themselves. Terry Butcher has always impressed, despite his annoyance that many remember him only for his bandaged head rather than his wonderful career. He flows easily, rarely stuck for a word and boasts an array of anecdotes. Looking to the future, Frank Lampard has no problem on the gantry and if he can convey views to his players at Derby as sensibly as he does on the box they will have a clear idea of what he wants. Always try to be informative. Before a game, Phil Neville told viewers that heavy rain showers prior to kickoff would make for a fast top that players would enjoy as it makes for a pacey game. Good. But some immediate responses do make one smile. I got caught out once when I suggested that Maradona gets amazing elevation on his balls from the tightest of angles. Recently a summariser was asked, "Where do you place Lewandowski in the scheme of things as strikers go?" The response was, "He's right up there. After being lucky enough to travel to 7 World Cups I can now relax, listen and learn from others." The contrast between those to like and those not to like is fascinating. Everyone has a view. Of course, there is an alternative: turn off the sound. After all, it's only a game. My personal favorites. It is very difficult to place summarisers in order. Much can depend on their colleague and the encouragement they are given to express themselves. I particularly like Graham Souness, not currently on our screens, and Lawrenson. Ron Atkinson in his time had a nice turn of phrase. They have all suffered the lows and enjoyed the highs of the dressing room in a management position. In my view, they will always have the edge on the summariser who has only played and is offering views without experience of controlling the team.